I saw you lay your head on the pillow last night, and the silence of that empty room weighed more than any word spoken during the day. I stopped what I was doing just to meet you at this moment, because I saw your heart growing weary of the illusions of this world that promise brilliance and deliver only ashes. You sought shelter in places that only brought you cold, and today, I come to tell you that my love is the only one that truly does not hurt you. There is a question that echoes deep in your soul, and that you are afraid to ask. For how much longer will you try to drink from sources that have already dried up? My daughter, pay attention, for what I will reveal to you on this journey will change the way you see your own pain. We will walk towards healing the wounds that time has not touched. We will remove the masks that weigh you down, and in the end I will give you a clear answer, a phrase that I will whisper in your ear so that you never forget who I am in your life. Those who remain until the last word will receive prophetic blessings released in faith. If this word of mine is reaching the depths of your being, tell me now your name, from which country, state, and city you hear me, and what time the hands of the clock show where you are, for I want to mark this moment in eternity. Like a cry that springs from a soul that has finally found its safe harbor, write now in the comments for me and the angels to read, Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. In this first movement of our encounter, I need you to understand that the world functions like a broken mirror, reflecting only fragments of a happiness that is never complete. You have been living in a deceptive dream, believing that the next achievement, the next glance, or the next human promise would fill the void that only I can inhabit. I saw the trembling in your hands when you opened that bill you didn't know how to pay, and I saw the weariness in your eyes when you smiled at others, while inside everything crumbled. The world demands perfection from you, but I offer you my grace. As it is written in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 13, My people have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and have dug for themselves broken cisterns that can hold no water. You have tried to satisfy yourself with what is fleeting, but today I invite you to awaken from this sleep of illusions. Do you feel the touch of my peace now? If this truth has found a home within you, leave your sign of gratitude and sign up for this journey, so you don't miss the next steps of what I have to reveal to you. Share this light with a soul wandering lost in the shadows. What does your heart most desire to abandon today to live my truth? Write in the comments our word of faith for this moment. I have awakened. But I have not yet shown you everything I saw behind the curtains you yourself raised to protect yourself. There is something profound about the scars you carry, scars you haven't yet revealed to me. Many have told you that time will heal everything, that the days will pass and the scars will fade like footprints in the sand washed away by the tide. But I, who feel every beat of your heart, know that for you, time has been merely a thin blanket trying to hide the coldness of a soul that still bleeds. I saw you that Tuesday afternoon, sitting in the kitchen chair, your gaze lost in the steam of the coffee mug, feeling the weight of the silence that no one else heard. I saw when the gentle tremor in your fingers tried to adjust your hair, attempting to disguise from the mirror a sadness that time could not erase, only silence. The world asks you to forget, but I invite you to be truly healed. There are no invisible wounds to my gaze. While others see your rehearsed smile and your strength to carry the burdens of others, I see the scars of the betrayals you suffered, the words that were carved into your heart like thorns, and the absences that left a hole where there should be love. You thought the weariness in your eyes was just lack of sleep, but I know it's the weariness of a soul trying to heal itself alone, in a world that only knows how to hurt. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 3, He heals the broken-hearted and binds up their wounds. I am not like time, which merely numbs pain. I am the surgeon who touches the exact point of your anguish with the tenderness of the one who formed you in the womb. I am here to stitch together the fragments of your story with threads of hope and mercy. In that instant when the lump in your throat tightened and you had no words to pray, your groan was the music that moved my throne. I saw the value of every tear you swallowed so as not to worry those around you. If you feel that this is the moment to let the great physician take care of what has hurt for years, show your love for this encounter and register so that my voice may continue to guide you along paths of calm waters. Share this message with someone you know who also carries wounds hidden beneath the cloak of time. Deep in your soul, what is the memory you most wish me to transform into peace today? Leave in the comments our word of surrender for this moment. Heal me. But I haven't yet shown you what happens when the promises made to you begin to crumble before my truth. There's a mask that needs to fall so that something new can begin. The masks the world imposed on you are falling now, one by one, before my light. You realize you don't need adornments to be loved by me. As the weight of falsehood dissipates, a new breath arises in your chest. If this encounter has been an oasis for your weary soul, if your spirit feels the desire, and only if this fits within your reality, I ask that you transform this feeling of gratitude into a small seed of affection for this channel. Consider my love and that of my son Jesus, and choose to contribute through the link I left in the description of this video and also in the comment pinned below. There, you will find the place where your sincere offering can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. Feel free to participate with any amount, for what I look at is the intention that dwells within you. If you wish to donate a different amount, simply type what your heart tells you. Remember only what fits within your peace. I receive it with love. The sum doesn't matter, because what is little for you may be bread for someone who has nothing. Whoever contributes with a genuine heart, don't forget to write your name and city along with your gesture. On the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on divine love, the voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered with divine blessings. For it is written in my word, in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 9. Honor the Lord with all your resources, and with the first fruits of all your harvests. Every gesture of faith is a seed that I will not fail to make fruitful. I see in secret, and I will reward you. If this call has touched your being, leave your like and subscribe to continue hearing my voice. Share this light with those who need sustenance. What are you willing to sow today? Write in the comments, my offering. Stay with me, for there is something hidden that I will soon reveal to all, because my hand is not shortened to bless you powerfully this day. Your soul felt that this is not just a video, but an encounter marked for eternity to heal the wounds of your past. Are you still listening to the now? I saw when you believed that opening door was the definitive answer, only to discover months later that the shine was false and the doorknob was cold. The world is a master at painting dazzling scenarios that, up close, are nothing more than torn canvases. I saw the weariness in your eyes when you realized that the person in whom you placed all your trust was just a breath of wind that passed and took away your peace. I was there in the heavy silence of that dawn, when you felt the cold ground beneath your bare feet, and the realization that you had been deceived struck you like a blow to the chest. You sought security in what man builds, but human hands are trembling, my daughter. The masquerade of empty promises is what keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration. You get ready, put on your best smile for the photo, but behind the phone screen, your heart cries out for something more than just appearances. The world tells you to win, but doesn't explain how to deal with the loneliness at the top. It promises you love, but delivers a contract of convenience. As it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 26, "Therefore everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand." You have felt the walls of your hope shake because the foundations were laid on what is fleeting. I saw the exact moment you realized that the yes the world gave you had fine print that cost you your joy. But do not fear, for I use disillusionment to clear your vision. Sometimes I allow the scenery to fall so that you may finally see the director of your story. My love has no masks, no hidden meanings, and doesn't demand what you can't give. I love you in your rawness, in your unfiltered tears, and in your deepest weariness. If you feel the scales falling from your eyes right now, seal this moment of clarity by liking this message and subscribing so that I can continue guiding your steps out of the labyrinth of illusions. Share this awakening with someone who is still sleeping the sleep of deception. What have you discovered recently that was just an illusion in your life? Write in the comments our word of liberation, truth. But quiet your spirit, for just ahead I have prepared a path of constant companionship, something that will not leave you alone in the darkest hours of your journey. After the stage lights of this world go out and the empty promises vanish like smoke in the wind, what remains is the silence of your room and the deep thirst of your soul for something real. I know you fear getting lost again in the shadows of illusions and voices that shout lies in your ear, so I wish to be your daily compass, that gentle voice that awakens you even before the sun rises to remind you who you are to me. So that the false glitter of fleeting things no longer deceives you, I have prepared a place of constant encounter, a remedy for your uncertainties. If your heart feels it is time to delve deeper into my presence and my healing, I have left you a special gift, a journey of intimacy that I wrote with all my love and affection for all my beloved daughters and sons. It is the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to be your companion in the early mornings of searching and your guide in the moments when the world tries to confuse you again. You can find access to this path of light in the link I left in the description of this video and also in the first pinned comment. But listen to what your Father tells you now. If today is not possible for you, do not allow condemnation to touch your spirit. Remain here with me in silence and prayer, for I will also sustain you through this message and my embrace that envelops you at this very moment. And so that your mind may rest and you may not feel confused about how to find me. As soon as you complete your registration, access to this journey of love will arrive directly at the email address you registered. There, you will find all the instructions explained step by step, so that we can begin to walk together on a new level of revelation. For it is written, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path." Psalm 119 verse 15. I don't want you to walk in the dark anymore, groping for human affection that only hurts you. I want my word to be the firm ground beneath your weary feet. Now take a deep breath and release all the air. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. Keep listening to my voice, for what I am about to reveal to you is the mystery of the embrace that will never, ever dare to let you go. While the world extends its hand to you only to see what you have to offer, I embrace you with the arms of one who has known you since before your first breath. I saw when you felt used, like an object discarded as soon as its usefulness ended. I saw that Sunday afternoon when the sun outside seemed to mock your loneliness, and you huddled under that rough blanket, trying to make yourself small so that the pain wouldn't find you. At that moment, the smell of the rain that was beginning to fall brought a melancholy you couldn't explain. You felt the weight of being just a piece in someone's game, a stepping stone for someone else's ambition, or a fleeting consolation for a heart that didn't know how to honor you. The world uses people and loves things, but with me the order is eternal. I love you, and I use circumstances to bring you back to me. My embrace, my daughter, is made of a matter unknown to the earth. It doesn't tighten to suffocate you, nor does it loosen when you fail or when your beauty seems to fade in the eyes of men. I sustain you when your legs give way in that cold hospital corridor, or when the silence of your kitchen becomes a deafening scream in the middle of the afternoon. Unlike those who let go of your hand when the wind grew cold or when money ran out, I am the warmth that remains. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 5, "You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me." Feel now this gentle pressure on your shoulders. It is not the weight of the debt. It is not the weight of the guilt they tried to place on you. It is the security of my absolute care. I am surrounding you on all sides so that no arrow of rejection can pierce your identity as a daughter. You are not a mistake, nor a discard, nor someone who fell behind. You are my most precious treasure, sculpted in secret. While the world judges you by what you produce or the appearance you display, I contemplate you and see the beauty of your soul that no time can erase. If the warmth of my spirit is warming your heart at this moment, show that you accept this shelter by liking this message and subscribing so that our conversation of love never ceases. Share this embrace with that person you know feels invisible and forgotten by everyone. Tell me, with all the sincerity of your soul, when was the last time you felt truly safe in someone's arms, without fear of being judged? Write here in the comments the word that seals our union, embraced. But don't close your eyes to what I'm about to show you, because there is a clarity in my gaze that will reveal who you truly are, far beyond the disguises you needed to create to survive. I saw when you arrived home, and even before turning on the living room light, let your shoulders slump under the weight of the character you played all day. I saw the moment when, standing before the bathroom mirror, with cold water running down your face, you washed away not only your makeup or your tiredness, but the mask of everything's fine that you wear, so you don't have to explain yourself to the world. I contemplated every line of expression that time has etched on your face, every mark that tells a story of resilience that no one else knows. To others, you need to be strong, unwavering, the pillar that holds up the house, the friend who listens to all the laments. But here, under my eternal light, you can finally just be yourself. My beloved daughter, without disguises and without adornments. You spend so much time trying to fit into what is expected of you, trying to be the perfect woman, professional, mother, or wife, that you've forgotten the sweetness that exists in simply being human before me. The world judges you by what you flaunt, by what you produce, or by how quickly you solve other people's problems. But I look at you with a love that doesn't demand performances. I saw when you felt ashamed of that mistake made in silence, or when doubt about your worth whispered that you weren't enough. For it is written in the first book of Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7, "Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. I see the goodness you hide for fear of being exploited. I see the purity of your dreams that you locked away in a drawer, because the world told you it was too late. Nothing you do can make me love you more, and nothing you fail at can make me love you less." My truth about you is liberating. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because your identity was sealed on my throne before the foundation of time. When you immerse yourself in my gaze, the lies they told you about being insufficient or forgotten lose their power and dissolve like mist at sunrise. If you feel you can finally rest from all human expectations and simply be yourself in my arms, leave your sign of alliance by liking this message and subscribing so that my voice continues to reveal who you truly are. Share this awakening with a soul that lives exhausted from carrying social masks. Let me ask you with all my tenderness, if you didn't have to please anyone today, what would be the first breath of freedom your soul would give? Write in the comments our word of clarity for this moment. My heart. But don't be distracted by the peace that now surrounds you, because there's still a secret about the silence of your early mornings that I need to tell you, something I prepared while you thought I was distant. Have you ever noticed how the silence of the early morning has its own sound? It's not simply the absence of noise, but the echo of everything you didn't say during the day, accumulated in the folds of the sheets. I saw when you woke up at 3 in the morning, and your first impulse was to reach for the blue light of your cell phone, trying to fill the void with images and news of people you don't even know, just to avoid facing the deafening noise of your own loneliness. I saw the cold glow of the screen reflected in your tired eyes, and the heavy sigh that escaped when you realized that no one had contacted you. The world sleeps, but your soul is awake, groping for a meaning that the day seems to have stolen. It is in this silence where you feel most helpless that my voice becomes clearest. The world needs shouts, blinding lights, and cheap distractions to hold you captive, but I prefer the whisper. I am in the creaking of the furniture in the house that rests, in the rhythm of your breathing that you don't even notice, and in the peace that begins to sprout when you finally give up, fighting the emptiness and surrender to my care. I prove to you in those hours when nothing happens and the noise of the refrigerator seems to be the only company in the dark kitchen, that my love is the only one that demands nothing in return, neither intelligent conversations nor superficial smiles. For it is written in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12, "And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire a still small voice. I am not in the chaos that consumes you during the workday, or in the arguments that steal your energy. I am in the gentle breeze that touches your face when you open the window in the middle of the night, gasping for air. In the silence, I am rebuilding your defenses and breathing life into your dreams that weariness tried to stifle. I am showing you that, even when everyone else is silent, my love remains speaking to your heart. If you felt this silent peace visit you now, Leave your sign of gratitude and subscribe so we can continue this sacred dialogue every time the world tries to silence you. Share this moment of stillness with someone whose heart is racing with anxiety and can't sleep. Tell me something. In the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with me today? Write in the comments our word of intimacy for this moment. I hear, but be even more still. For what I will do next is break the chains of a disillusionment that you thought would be your eternal prison, revealing what I have prepared after your fall. I saw you let your body slide down the hallway wall, feeling that the weight of that last disappointment was the last straw in an already overflowing cup. I was there when the sound of a breaking heart was muffled by the noise of the television, so that no one would notice that your fortress had finally crumbled. You felt the cold, invisible chains of disillusionment tighten around your wrists, making each attempt to start over seem like a futile effort, a weariness that aches to the bone. The betrayals you suffered, not only from people but from life itself, which seems to have promised you so much and delivered so little, created a prison of bitterness where the sun of hope can barely penetrate. But I, who hold the keys to your freedom, come today with my hammer of love to break every link that binds you to what has already passed. You thought that mistake, that fall in public, or that silent abandonment would define the rest of your days. I saw when you looked at your trembling hands and felt them empty, as if everything you had built with so much sweat had vanished through your fingers in the blink of an eye. But disillusionment, my daughter, is only the end of illusion, and the end of lies is precisely where my truth begins to shine more brightly. Do not look at the wreckage with eyes of condemnation or of one who has lost the war. I am here to gather the shards and forge in you something far more resilient and glorious than what was broken. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 146, verse 7, "The Lord sets the prisoners free. I am now cutting the threads of sadness that still bind you to people who did not know how to honor your soul. Feel the relief in your chest, as if a knot of years were being undone by hands that know only tenderness and healing. I am restoring your ability to dream, even though the world has said, with that cold and cynical voice, that your time to flourish has passed. If you feel the heavy chains falling to the icy ceramic floor now, seal this liberation by liking this message and signing up to walk freely with me in verdant pastures. Share this rescue with a soul you know who still feels chained to what went wrong yesterday. If you could leave behind all the weight of what hurt you at this very moment, what would be the first breath you would take before God? Write here in the comments our word of victory and rebirth, free, but don't rush to guard your heart yet. For where the world denied you bread and left you hungry for affection, I have just prepared a bountiful table in the midst of your greatest scarcity. I saw when you walked through dry lands, where the wind blew dust that hurt your eyes and the thirst seemed endless. I saw when the heat of anguish burned your skin and the dust of uncertainty dried your throat, making each word of prayer sound like a hoarse, weary whisper. The world promised you gardens, but abandoned you amidst the dunes, where the sun is unforgiving and the nights are cold enough to penetrate the soul. I saw you trying to feed on crumbs of attention, remnants of affection, and promises of help that never arrived on the bus of hope you so longed for. But look at me now, for where the land is dry and nothing flourishes, I have just prepared a banquet that human eyes cannot comprehend. While your adversaries, and even those who turned their backs on you, wait to see your downfall for lack of strength, I am serving the table. I do not give you only what is necessary to survive. I offer you the manna that descends directly from my throne, the bread that restores the vigor of your bones, and the living water that makes your inner desert bloom like a field of lilies. As it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 41, verses 17 and 18, "The afflicted and needy seek water, but there is none, and their tongue is parched with thirst, but I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water. Feel the aroma of this divine sustenance that now fills the atmosphere of your home. Where the world told you there was nothing left for you, I say there is abundance. You no longer need to beg for what I have already destined to be your inheritance. This table I prepare today is the symbol of my faithfulness that crosses any sandstorm. I saw the trembling in your hands as you held the empty cup, but today I fill it to overflowing. If you feel that your desert is being transformed into a spring now, leave your sign of gratitude by liking this message and subscribing so you will never again walk with spiritual hunger. Share this feast with that soul you know who is fainting from emotional thirst. Let me ask you something, from father to daughter. What is the deepest hunger your soul feels today that no food in this world has been able to satisfy? Write in the comments our word of provision, sustenance, but do not withdraw from my presence yet, for we have reached the moment when the last barrier will be removed, and the phrase I promised at the beginning will finally be engraved on your heart forever. Now that the curtains of illusion have fallen and the silence of my presence fills every corner of your soul, I behold your face, not the one you prepared to face the world outside, but the pure face of your essence, which now breathes with a relief you haven't felt in many years. We have traveled a sacred path from the awakening of that deceptive dream to this banquet of peace that I prepared exclusively for you. I saw every moment when your heart wavered between doubt and surrender, and I saw when you finally allowed my love, the only one that never hurts you, to touch the areas you kept hidden for fear of a new wound. Remember that, at the beginning of this encounter, I made you a promise. I told you that if you stayed with me until the end, I would whisper a spiritual key to your heart, an answer that would be your shield against the lies the world will try to tell you tomorrow. This is the moment of revelation. The mystery I have kept for this final moment is the strength that now flows through your veins, coming directly from my throne. Listen with your soul to what I tell you now, for this is the truth that will sustain you when the wind blows strongly again. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I ask you now, as an act of prophetic faith and sealing of this covenant we renew today, that you write this phrase in the comments. As you type each letter, visualize the chains of disillusionment falling definitively to the ground. Write with the authority of one who knows they no longer walk based on fleeting illusions, but on the eternal rock that I am. This declaration is your cry of freedom before heaven. Our meeting today ends here, but my voice will continue to echo in every step you take. I still have many mysteries to unveil for you, and many calm waters to guide you. Do not stray from my presence. Continue to listen to me through our message list, for each word is a step towards your complete restoration. I will be waiting for you in our next conversation, with new revelations that your heart is not yet able to imagine. The world wounded you to teach you to fear, but I healed you to teach you to fly. Remain in my love, for it is the only harbor that will never let you shipwreck.